Hi everyone, we are going to talk about graphing equations of lines and linear models. Models is just that line that you put onto your scatter plot, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to talk about example number one. Example number one says, in the United Kingdom, nervous dental patients are sometimes given a sedative to calm them. To administrate the sedative, the dentist performs a cannulation, which involves inserting a thin tube into the vein in a patient's hand. In an experiment involving 20 individuals, researchers tested whether the amount of the pain the individual experienced during cannulation explains the level of anxiety that the individual predict they would experience by undergoing cannulation again. After undergoing cannulations, the individuals rated their experience of pain from 0 to 100 and their predicted anxieties about undergoing cannulation again from 0 to 100. The patient's ratings are shown in table 8. So what happened is they are trying to figure out the anxiety level based on the pain when they first had it. On the bottom says, let A be the anxiety rating of a patient predict for undergoing another and after having undergo one pain rating. So in this case, the first one undergo one pain rating, so that's already went through. So therefore, it's gonna be pain rating is your X, and also you should understand X is the first thing. X is the independent variable. X is the one that dictate what is going to be the rest of the problems. So in this case, what you're going to have is you should be able to answer question number 1A is going to be pain rating. And you should be able to write down the second one. Identify the response variable that's going to be the anxiety rating. You give it a shot first, and then you figure out how much does it cause pain. We are going to do the construct a scatter plot. Now, construct a scatter plot, I'm going to put it in the calculator for you. So there's a calculator corresponding to it. Hi guys, I just want to make sure that we double check that we can understand how to enter a scatter plot into your calculator. So to start off, let's see, can we try to figure out how to even turn it on and clear any of the lists. So what we're going to do is we are going to enter the table 8 into your calculator. So when you turn it on your calculator, you will have all those things. But you should know that because they are lists, you should go into the stat, okay? And then you should go into the edit, which is number 1. And then notice they have all kind of data in there. To clear all your data is to go up to L1. And then if you press clear at L1 position, the whole list will clear like that. Then if you want to, you can go on to clear L2, press clear and press enter, and then it will be all clear. So now I'm going to enter the list that's pain rating, okay? Put all of them in there. So there's 4 different columns. So I'm gonna pause it and you guys can enter it just like I do. I'm gonna enter the first column for you guys. So 37, press enter. And then you have 63 and so forth. I'm gonna pause the video and you guys keep on entering. So now I have list 1 entered. I'm going to go on entering list 2, which is anxiety rating. So scroll over to the next level, next line, next list, and then star 37, and then matches with 50, and then you're going to type the rest of the list. Okay, after entering both lists, please make sure you double check your numbers so they match up. They should both have at 20 and 20, and then you can count. That's a 5 times 4 columns, so that's also should be 20 pieces of data. Okay, and so now what you're going to do is you are going to graph, actually put it in a scatter plot. Now, a couple of things you have to turn it on. So to turn on scatter plot, you got to do second scatter plot, okay? And then you need to make sure that plot 1 is turned on. Now, how do you turn it on? Well, you can just press enter and then press on right there. It's flashing. And you're going to go to the first box right here. Now, the cool thing is this thing can do histogram, box plot, and line plot, all kind of things. Now, make sure you double check because you enter your data in L1 and L2, it will plot the L1, L2 data. Now, if you eventually have more set of data and you don't want to retype it and erase the ones that you had before, you can type it into L3 and L4, and then you can go pick up your L3 and L4 using the blue key and pick up all those other lists right here, okay? So make sure your data is in there correctly with which column you are picking up. So I'm going to do L1 and L2. Now, to plot the scatter plot, you don't just press the graph button. You are going to go to zoom. Second, quit out of it. And you're going to do zoom. And you are going to go down, do zoom stat. And that is number 9. Press enter. And there's your scatter plot. Okay, now scatter plot is kind of nice, but then you can just copy those things onto your paper, which is right here. You don't have to put the marking, but you should put down on the bottom, that should be your pain rating. On the side should be your anxiety rating. And then you don't have to do the tick mark because I know that's a little bit hard, you know, what is it? So you can just freehand, like sketch it, and as long as you look like the calculator, it will be totally okay. Pause that and do that. Now the next thing they have is describe the interpretation of the direction of the association. So once you look at that, let's go back and look at your sketch. Okay, so I will actually see this is a positive association. Well, how close is your correlation? Well, I would probably say about 0.7, 0.8 positive association. It's kind of strong because it's kind of forming a little line, and it's positive because it's going from left to right and going upwards. Okay, and do we have any outlier? Well, maybe we have one little one right here. So those are the things you can write down. So interpret the direction of association. Well, the direction is positive. Okay, graph this. Okay, now number 4, we are going to graph A equals 0.91p plus 1.7. So what you're going to do is, hopefully you have this from before, is you go to y equal, and then you're going to enter. Make sure your plot is on. So I'm going to enter this p. I'm going to assume that's x, and then a is going to be y. So I'm going to type in 0.91x plus 1.71, and then I'm going to graph it and then see where I'm at. Look at the line. Okay, that tells you that line is going through those graphs. So let's answer the next question. Does the model is this line? That's called modeling. Okay, does the model come close to the data points? It's pretty good. It's going through the middle of it. Okay, so that's number 5. The next question is asking, use the model to predict the anxiety rating patients would predict about undergo another I don't know, I used to. Okay, after having undergo one with pain rating of 70. Now, pain rating, if you want to think about it, is the P right here. That's the pain rating. So pain rating is going to be 70. So what you're going to do is you are going to take your equation, which is going to be A equals 0.91 times 70 plus 1.71, and that will give you the anxiety level. So taking your calculator and say quit, and that will be 0.91 times 70. Notice that I press equal because order of operation, or you can put it in parentheses, plus 1.71, and that's going to be 65.41. And what does that mean? That means when you have 1/2 pain low rating of 70, the anxiety rating will be about 65.41. And that is how you do your number one.